Welcome to the XFO Intelligence Podcast. We live in an age of just accelerating complexity. The global challenges, all the technological disruptions, and these deeply interconnected systems we face today, they're just increasingly defying our traditional, our linear ways of thinking. It reminds me of that old proverb, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. But what if there's a higher level? What if you could teach someone to understand the fundamental principles of fishing, like the ecology, the technology, the economics? Well, they could then transform food systems for generations to come. And that is the promise of a framework called Deep Augmented Thinking, or DAT. It really represents a potential next step in the evolution of human cognition. It's one built on a true symbiotic partnership between human and artificial intelligence. And we really have to recognize the innovative mind of Brendon Wong from XFO Intelligence for developing this method. He himself was inspired by the work of pioneers like Tony Buzan, who, invented mind mapping. So what is DAT? Well, it rests on three foundational pillars that work together to amplify our own cognitive capabilities. The first one is slow thinking. In a world that celebrates speed above all else, DAT intentionally embraces deliberate, reflective analysis. Drawing from the work of Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman, it recognizes that our fastest thinking is often our most biased. So by intentionally slowing down when we're facing a complex problem, we can see beyond the surface patterns. We can make decisions that are aligned with long-term values, not just short-term impulses. Okay, so the second pillar is augmented intelligence. This is a really key distinction. Unlike artificial intelligence that, seeks to replace human thinking, augmented intelligence aims to extend it. Think of AI as a cognitive partner. It handles what machines do best, processing vast amounts of information, detecting subtle patterns, and remembering literally everything. And that leaves we humans to focus on what we do best, contextual understanding, ethical reasoning, and creative synthesis. Together, this partnership, it creates something far, far greater than either could achieve alone. Then, there's the third and maybe the most crucial pillar, which is ethical systems design. Because intelligence without wisdom is dangerous, right? DAT builds ethical considerations directly into the thinking process itself. So principles like constructive intention or stakeholder fairness, universal benefit, they aren't just a checklist you review at the end of the project. No, they are a fundamental component of how decisions are made from the very start. The real magic, though, it happens in how these pillars are put into action. It's through what's called the compounding knowledge method. This is a 6-step cycle. You visualize connections, you gather intelligence, you structure all that knowledge, you engage in a dialogue with custom AI partners that actually challenge your assumptions, then you capture the insights, and then you repeat the process. It's not a linear checklist at all. It's more of an upward spiral. Each revolution builds upon the last. So your knowledge isn't just accumulated, it's synthesized. It creates what Brendon Wong calls cognitive compound interest, where your thinking assets actually begin to generate their own returns. Pretty amazing. To make this a bit more concrete, let's explore a couple of hypothetical examples of how DAT could be applied. And I need to stress, it's very important that these are just illustrative thought experiments. They're here to demonstrate the process, not case studies of actual company projects. Okay, so first, imagine a wealth management firm applying this approach to legacy planning. Traditional methods would probably just optimize for tax efficiency. But through the iterative process of DAT, the team could map all these unexpected connections between, say, family dynamics, philanthropic goals, and intergenerational values. The hypothetical result isn't just a better financial plan, it's a holistic strategy that transforms how the family even conceptualizes its entire legacy. Or let's consider a theoretical telecommunications company. Instead of just creating a static 5G strategy, it could use DAT to map its entire ecosystem. I mean, everything: customers, competitors, regulators, emerging technologies, and see it as a living system. This would allow it to develop a strategy that anticipates regulatory shifts and changing consumer behaviors at the same time. It would create just unprecedented adaptability. This brings us to the ethical imperative. Any system that amplifies intelligence also amplifies its potential consequences. DAT addresses this head-on with built-in safeguards, things like regular ethical reviews, integrating diverse perspectives, and most importantly, maintaining absolute human oversight for any consequential decisions. As the AI pioneer Fei-Fei Li notes, AI should amplify, not replace, human creativity and empathy. And DAT really embodies this principle perfectly. I think we stand at an inflection point in human cognitive evolution. For centuries, our thinking tools remained relatively unchanged, right? Books, conversations, diagrams. But now, we have the opportunity to partner with an intelligence that complements our own in truly profound ways. Deep Augmented Thinking offers a path forward that honors human wisdom while embracing technological capability. The ultimate promise here isn't just finding better solutions to complex problems. It's the elevation of human understanding itself. By learning to think in partnership with our creations, we may discover new dimensions of intelligence that have until now just remained hidden. So here's a question I'd like you to think about. If you had a cognitive partner, an AI that could process any information you gave it and challenge your assumptions, what is the first complex problem in your own field, or maybe even in your own life, that you would choose to tackle it with?